Welcome back to Supreme Commander Forge Alliance. We got another great 1 versus 1 game here between Blackdeath in the bottom right is Aeon and Deathly in the top left also is Aeon. So this game was sent to me and I watched a little bit of it and it looks like an extremely good game, so I'm going to cast it now. I've turned off the chat to protect the innocent because there is a little bit of characteristic rage from Deathly, so we want to keep this under control. So an early flare from Blackdeath, he's going to be looking for stuff to kill. And he's just going to be wandering over here, he's expecting an early engineer. Blackdeath getting the Hydra with his ACU. Deathly looks like he used 2 NGs, so you got the Hydra faster, and he's going second air. So a little bit different in the builds. And that flare didn't do anything. It was killed by an Aurora pretty fast. So good defense from Deathly. Deathly going first interceptor. Blackdeath building a land factor and an air factor. So let's see what unit he chooses to make first out of his air factor. Actually, first 2 interceptors from Deathly. That's a little bit wasteful since there's no air yet, but you can't blame him for being cautious. And now a transport coming out, so he's not going for any aggression, he's just making his transport. But a bomber coming out for Blackdeath, and that's not going to be able to do anything, so he changes it to an interceptor, not to waste mass. It's a good play from both players so far. First shots of the game. Now Blackdeath with an interceptor evens out the Air Force numbers. 1 interceptor apiece, but a transport for Deathly, so he's really looking to get these 3 islands really fast. That's a good move. Each one of these has a rock on them. It's a pretty nice chunk of mass, as well as 2 mass extractors, so having these is pretty good. Some raiding Auroras from Deathly. He's going to pick off this engineer, unless he avoids it for... Well, he doesn't have radar, so there's no way he knows that this is here. Of course, both players are going to be looking to use their bombers, because Auroras are very vulnerable to bombers. So looks like early on in terms of map control, Deathly with a big advantage. And he would have an even bigger advantage if he could take this out somehow. So now he has radar, he should know that this is here. Yeah, now he's going to take it out, so. Now Deathly with many more mass extractors. And Deathly's ACU in the middle. They made some factors. Deathly picking up the rocks. Now these NGs might as well go home, or they might start to upgrade. It doesn't really matter. There's also a Hydro back here, but it's not that important. But it is there, just so people know. Deathly could get himself in a little bit of trouble here with some Auroras and Artie, as well as the ACU, so he needs to start retreating. And there he goes, he's retreating now. Now Deathly moving back. He's at low health, but I doubt Blackdeath will follow him in because there's production right here. There's a pretty big force from Blackdeath, so it looks like he was trying to end it quick. Deathly at 2,000 health. 1,000, this is very dangerous for Deathly. But Blackdeath decides to pull back. He probably could have won the game if he had pushed a little bit harder. So Deathly going to 800 health, 600. But it looks like he will get out of here because he has reinforcements coming in. So Deathly dodges death from Blackdeath. Lots of death going on. So 600 health and he gets away. Well, actually 400 now, so cutting it really close. But now Deathly with a really big advantage in map control, because he has so many of the underwater mass extractors. Actually, it looks worse than it is. Actually, it's pretty even in terms of map control, so forget I said that. And both players not taking these, although it looks like Deathly has planned it. Deathly building anti-air turrets on his islands, that's also a good move. Protects them from bombers and drops. And two NGs, looks like Blackdeath was the one paying attention. He's going to reclaim Deathly's engineer. And now he can just keep walking and get these two mass extractors if he chooses. Blackdeath not picking up these rocks, he probably should. Some minor air fights. And Blackdeath trying to move into Deathly's base, but Deathly with plenty of Auroras to defend. Coming up on minute 10 here. So that's just going to leave a bunch of wrecks, which I'm sure Deathly will pick up immediately. Well, he will soon. So what is that? It's a dead transport. So finally picking up those mass extractors. Blackdeath should be getting these as well. One of the hardest things about playing on a map this big is to remember to do everything. Like this is going to be very difficult to remember when you have 20 idle engineers at once. Blackdeath with some navy. Looks like it's the only naval factory on the map. And he's coming out with some submarines. He's going to start raiding these mass extractors. So good play. Some air fighting. Looks like a Blackdeath with numbers, but actually no, Deathly with numbers. So Blackdeath should be careful. Deathly dropping off some engineers. He's got this, but that gets killed pretty quickly. And here, point defense versus army, and the army runs it over with some losses, and it's gonna destroy these 4 mass extractors as well as the Hydra. So pretty hard blow to take. Now the interceptor's on the ground, they should be taking off soon. And Tech 2 from Deathly, so he has moved into the Tech 2 stage. He's getting some upgrade on his ACU. No, he's not. These engineers, this is something that can happen if you have them on assist ACU. Sometimes they don't assist the project, they try to repair the ACU. That's not worth it, it just takes too long. Now, Blackdeath with a pretty big force, but the Tech 2 should make him retreat. There's no reason to attack when your opponent has Tech 2 tanks. It's a good defense from Deathly there. Now there's a whole bunch of mass, and he's already going to pick it up with an engineer. And I missed this raiding group of Auroras from Blackdeath. Destroy Deathly's mass extractors on the bottom. He has an engineer in the area that should be picking all these up soon. Pretty large mass field here. And he's going to run into a bigger army. And Deathly, well actually no, he's going straight for these islands, so he's going to try to steal those. And coming up on minute 14, Deathly reclaimed about 3,000. Blackdeath at about 400, so big difference there. And we're going to see who's paying attention. Yeah. Blackdeath sees it and he's going to reclaim that. And this transport doesn't even make it. Does Blackdeath have his own Tech 2? That's the question. No, he has Tech 2 air, so that's his plan. He's going to counter Tech 2 land with Tech 2 air. Looks like similar numbers in air forces. And finally, Deathly starts his own navy. And an engineer from Deathly reclaiming Blackdeath submarine, so he sees it and gets out. These are in some unfortunate blazes. They're going to get picked off by some gunships. Well, yeah, they get one mass extractor, but not much else. And now Deathly trying to move through, but Blackdeath, because ACU should be overcharging these if he has energy storage. I expect he has it somewhere, I'm just not sure where. No, he actually doesn't. Neither player with energy storage. That's ridiculous. So some RD versus Blaze action, that's not a fair fight. Still Tech 2 land, and still Tech 1 air from Deathly. And now a good move with these gunships, raiding the islands. Protected by the interceptors. And with Tech 2 air, and as Aeon, you can build swift wins, especially if your opponent is still a Tech 1, and then you can basically guarantee air superiority. But might not be as effective against Aeon, but since Deathly is at Tech 1, it might be a good move for Blackdeath to make some swift wins. Now it looks like this is going to provoke an air fight, but no, Deathly is going to stay put. And now he's moving out, so he is target firing the gunships, so that's going to give Blackdeath the opportunity to win air. In the middle of the air fight, Deathly sneaks a transport through, so definitely very bold, but I doubt it's going to make it anywhere. Now, crashes into the side of the mountain. Actually, that's a pretty funny death position for the transport. That is actually pretty funny. Taking out some point defense. And a Tech 2 Navy from Blackdeath, so this is getting interesting. I don't think he has Tech 2 land yet. No, he still doesn't. Still a Tech 1 land, but Tech 2 Navy. But definitely also a Tech 2 Navy, so Navy has definitely just become a big factor in this one. Gunships still on the loose. And Blackdeath also using torpedo bombers to raid the mexes. So he's further going to deny him more economy. So I guess torpedo bombers are the equivalent of gunships when raiding underwater mass extractors. Here comes a destroyer and a cruiser. It's a pretty formidable force right there. Just completely destroys a submarine, but now Deathly knows what he's facing. Looks like Deathly is going to take air, and that is because Blackdeath was making other units like gunships and torpedo bombers. Now a pretty big force coming in down. Blackdeath is going to try to overcharge. Does he have energy storage now? I don't think he does. Quite ridiculous. Might as well just build a power storage on one of these islands where it's safe, and then you're set. There's a Tech 2 sub in here as well, and Aurora following, so this is a very powerful force here. It's got anti-sub, anti-surface, and anti-air. But Deathly is probably going to answer it with the same composition. He already has a destroyer and a cruiser and 4 Type 1 subs, so that's basically the same navy. But now Blackdeath, I would definitely say he has map control, because he has restricted Blackdeath to this area right here. And we'll see what happens now. So it looks like this cruiser is in danger of dying. Shot misses, but it's down in health, and now the cruiser is destroyed, so Blackdeath should probably retreat with his navy. No overcharge there, finally. And Deathly is going to steal some of these mass extractors. And once again, the transport gets shot and lands in the ocean. Some shots from the destroyer get all the way through. Just to check reclamation again at minute 23. Deathly with 11,000. Blackdeath still at 400, and that's probably the big difference here in terms of economy. That's why, let's check the Tech 2 mass extractor count. Deathly with 10. Blackdeath with 4, and that is probably the 10,000 mass reclaim difference between these players, and it's showing itself in the mass extractor count. And now definitely going Tech 3 land. It's probably a good move. There's quite a few NG producing factors. It's getting some more power for himself, so definitely in a much better position. Although Blackdeath is attacking the bottom, but with Tech 3 land, it shouldn't be too much of a problem to defend. Looks like a standoff, but these destroyers aren't careful. Well, yeah, that one just got destroyed, but Tech 2 subs. I expect these to. Well, not against Aeon. The Aeon destroyers have very good torpedoes, so out of luck there. And this could mean that Deathly is going to take Navy. It's going to get naval control. Blackdeath, however, is rolling through into Deathly's naval production with all his Auroras. That's good. It's destroying a Tech 2 torpedo launcher. That's expensive. And if he can take this out, then that'll be very significant. Because then he could take these out with air, and then he could have naval control himself. Looks like some NGs close to each other, no one's paying attention. And a Blackdeath somehow stole this island from Deathly. Looks like some things happen here. Not that important. And Auroras versus a destroyer, and the destroyer is targeting this interceptor, which is behind the mountain. So if it doesn't start moving, it's gonna get killed by Auroras. So finally moving now, but now it needs to shoot because these are all packed now. But we'll see what happens there. So yeah, that's what I was talking about, torpedo bombers against these destroyers from Blackdeath, so he's going to kill those. And he has managed to take out Deathly's naval factory. However, Deathly, it looks like he wants to get air back. He's on a massive interceptor spam, as well as some Harbies that he has on the field. Harbies attempting to get in, but Aurora's and Tech 2 point defense will deny that. So he's not going to get in through the bottom. And Deathly loses his last naval unit. Actually, he has some subs now, but I expect Blackdeath to take Navy pretty soon. This NG is standing in the middle of a mass field. He should be on an attack move. Blackdeath needs a lot more build capacity in his air factory, otherwise he's going to lose air. So Deathly with a much bigger air force. And if he just starts patrolling over here, he's going to take air, and he can do whatever he wants with it. But now coming up on minute 29, Blackdeath is going to be pushing out, but this is all Tech 1, and there's Tech 3 from Deathly. Blackdeath trying to catch up, he's going Tech 3 land. And Deathly desperately trying to get some Tech 2 subs out. Looks like he stopped his air production, I'm not sure why, and he's making a Tech 3 mass extractor. He's already got one. So he's making a Tech 3 mass extractor while he still has a Tech 1, that's pretty crazy. It's actually really cool. Blackdeath should just capture that. And these Harbies, I don't see what can stop them. Well, they can't really make it into here because there's a bunch of Tech 2 point defense, but they will cut off this area for a while. But now Blackdeath with, is that a Tech 3 RD? Yeah. So Deathly using the Tech 3 RD, he's going to try to put some shots in here. That'd be nice. Or he's going to try to take out the Tech 2 point defense. That's also a good move. So you can see the Aeon RD is unique. It does damage over time. So you can see that actually lost its health over time, so It's interesting. And these Harpies are just raking in the kills from Tech 1. So still a very even fight. Map control has been split horizontally. These Tech 1 subs aren't really going to do much unless they can kill some mass extractors. That'd be good. They do take out one. Will they get the other? Looks like they will. But eventually they'll die from either torpedo bombers or from Blackdeath subs. And now some Harpy fights. In this situation, the Tech 1 would be useful for some extra firepower. This is going to be a very close one. Looks like Blackdeath will win this Harpy engagement. And since Harpies can reclaim, you should just put this on a patrol and just start picking all this up. Looks like Blackdeath has cut this off pretty well. It'll be very difficult to break these two shields. This Harpy is going to get killed, with two more from Blackdeath. And now all this can die. Well, actually there's a Harpy from Deathly as well, but there's also a naval presence here that's putting some extra damage on this force. There's a serious lack of build capacity here. He doesn't even have air, so he shouldn't be making gunships. He should be making Swiftwinds or interceptors. Because as it is, he's just gonna get his air slaughtered by a cruiser, and then now his gunships are pretty much useless. Some more arty shooting. Definitely has a Harpy here. It's probably gonna just stay there unless it starts getting shot, in which case it should move. So many Harpies now. This is now a pretty deadly force. They should be moving in. Although plenty of Harpies for Deathly as well. But it looks like it's 6 versus 4. Blackdeath having the advantage. Harpy coming through. It's promptly dispatched by Tech 2 point defense. And now a group of gunships from Deathly. These can do some serious damage to the islands. And looks like that's exactly what Deathly has in mind. Now these torpedo bombers aren't really going to do much. Big interceptor spam, as it has been all game from Deathly. All these gunships are just staying here. They should be attacking the islands. So it's like another Harpy fight. And it looks like Blackdeath is going to come out on top on this one, but he did lose 4 Harpies, but he's got 4 more coming in, so definitely a very powerful force here with so many Harpies in it. Definitely trying to move his own units in. He's got 3 right here and 1 right there. But Blackdeath still with more. He needs to be making more Harpies because Blackdeath is on a constant production. He's got 2 more here. And these gunships lost their chance to move in. They all got killed by a cruiser. So, a bit unfortunate there. Some more gunships, these time from Blackdeath. Looks like Blackdeath hiding on the side of a mountain. He doesn't want to get destroyed by bombers or anything. And definitely, with the ultimate act of wanting to end this game, he's starting an experimental, a Galactic Colossus. So the thing about this is that if he gets it finished, he will win the game because it's more powerful than anything here that Blackdeath has. But he is very vulnerable while he's making it because he's not really making anything else. All his economy is going here. You can see a massive mass stall because everything is going here, and pretty soon he's going to run out of mass. And Blackdeath did see it, so he knows that this is the time to move in. While Deathly is working on that, so he's moving his force in. Deathly is trying to move back. And in the meantime, Blackdeath is seizing map control while he's attacking. It's a good rule to follow. If you're attacking, that's a good time to expand. so he's going to try to avoid the tech decline defense. He's going to try to get in the back, kill all the power. Well, actually, not all the power, most of the power is down here. But it's still going to be pretty brutal if he takes out the Tech 3 Massive Strike. So, definitely almost done. This is going to be a very close finish. If Deathly gets this done, it's at 84%, then he can kill all this, but it doesn't look like he'll get it done. Yeah, there's no way he'll finish this. 73, 72. He's very close to getting it done because, but Deathly just throws in the towel. He realizes there's nothing he can do. And after 40 minutes, Blackdeath wins a very hard game against Deathly, so hopefully people enjoyed this.